are many Palestinians in Gaza facing low levels of food, water, and medical supplies. And as Sue Guzman explains, the scope of the impact of Israel withholding aid and electricity for Gaza is very real.
Efforts to secure stability in the Middle East grind on, with Israeli officials sending a delegation to Qatar Monday to try and advance ceasefire negotiations with Hamas militants in the Gaza Strip.
Dialogue means sitting, hearing what someone wants, and then identifying, does it fit with what we want or not? And then how can you get somewhere in the middle and not have a war?
The first phase of the ceasefire began in mid-January and recently ended. It saw the release of more than 24 hostages taken from Israel in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Talks to promote a second phase have stalled. Israeli officials want Hamas to release half of the remaining hostages and extend the first phase of the deal. Hamas is calling for a full Israeli withdrawal from the territory.
We will employ all the tools available to us so that all the hostages will return.
On Sunday, Israel ordered electricity be cut off from Gaza, move coming a week after officials also stopped the flow of critical food and medical supplies into the region.
Last time we received aid, it was just a bag of flour, and that bag is not enough.
Meanwhile, this weekend was marked by demonstrations across Tel Aviv, with protesters taking to the streets Saturday, calling for the immediate release of the remaining hostages. Meanwhile, others demanded similar action as they camped outside the Defense Ministry headquarters.
Our message is clear. Give the negotiating team full mandate to end the war and get all the hostages back.
That was Sue Guzman reporting.
Well, it's been a day since the Israelis cut off electricity to the Gaza Strip in full. Now, this was a decision made to try to pressure Hamas in order to come to the negotiating table, which the Israelis have said that they are going to be doing. They're headed to Qatar with an Israeli delegation to try to extend that truce between the Israelis and Hamas. The United States is participating, as well as the Qataris and the Egyptians, but so far there's been very little movement on trying to extend this deal, and that is risking moving again to an all-out war in the Gaza Strip. Now, this move to cut off electricity, this has been decried by human rights groups, but it's unlikely to have that much impact, as Hamas acknowledged in a statement. They said that the fact is that electricity has been largely cut off to the Gaza Strip ever since the October 7th attacks that started this latest round of fighting. And so this isn't going to have that much of an impact. A lot of the infrastructure that spreads electricity throughout the Gaza Strip has already been destroyed. The real problem here is that some of this goes to desalinization plants that a lot of the Gaza Strip relies on for water. The Israelis have said they are not ruling out cutting off water supplies to the Gaza Strip. Again, in an effort to pressure Hamas in order to agree to an extension of this ceasefire deal. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Tel Aviv.